Welcome to the Hinsdale Local Podcast, where we explore the journeys and stories of entrepreneurs and their businesses here in Hinsdale, Illinois. Businesses are started because someone saw a need or specific problem and decided to take the courageous step to start a business to solve that problem or to meet that need. And what makes Hinsdale such a unique and wonderful place to live are the businesses and business owners here in Hinsdale. Entrepreneurs and business owners have a unique way in which they look at the world, and I believe we have so much to learn from one another. Plus, this podcast is a great way to get to know our neighbors right here in Hinsdale. I'm your host, Brent Stutzman, and today I'm talking to Margot Barber. She runs a local network for moms called the Hinsdale Area Moms Network. Welcome to the show, Margot.
Thanks, Brent. Thanks so much for having me.
We're going to talk a little bit about your business in just a few minutes, but first, tell us a little bit about your family and how you got to Hinsdale.
Sure. I grew up in Ohio, so I'm originally from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Nice.
To Miami University in Oxford, Ohio. And post-college, I moved to Chicago, into the city, into Lincoln Park, like everybody else in their 20s. That's where I met my husband. We worked together at a wine distributor. And his job moved us to Baltimore. And from Baltimore, it moved us to Dallas. We spent 4 years in Dallas and had our older 2 children while we lived in Dallas. And he then was approached with an offer to move back to the Midwest. Luckily, it was Chicago. And luckily, from our sales time here, we had spent a lot of time in all the suburbs. So we had kind of an idea of where we wanted to live. And we thankfully ended up here in Hinsdale 8 years ago. It was 8 years ago last week. Since then, I've had 2 more children. So I am now a mom of 4. My children are 9, 8, 7, and 5.
Wow.
Yeah. Like I said, we've been in Hinsdale for about 8 years. And just, we love it here so much. So thankful that this is where we've landed and have this space to raise our kids.
Man, well, I have 3 kids who are younger, and I just can't imagine your stage of life with everything that's been going on and the way moms have had to pivot during the pandemic, and let alone, you have this business on top of this. So tell me a little bit, why did you start the Hinsdale Area Moms Network?
Yeah. So as I had said before, I had sold wine. I was also a pharmaceutical rep. We moved around quite a bit, which makes it a little bit tricky. And then the week after we moved here, I found out I was pregnant with our 3rd child. So that would have been 3 kids in under 3 years. And it just didn't seem feasible that a return to outside sales was going to make sense for our family. And I was very, very thankful to be able to stay home, really be with the kids and focus on that. And as my kids have gotten older, I really missed having something that wasn't entirely about them. However, I ended up in a job that is a lot about them, but neither here nor there. A return to sort of that corporate world, that having a manager would have been difficult. My husband travels quite a bit for work. And just with everything we had going on, I began trying to find something that would be just a great fit. Really good friend of mine from growing up runs one of our sister sites called Hyde Park Moms in Cincinnati, Ohio. And she had mentioned to me several times, like, your neighborhood would be perfect for this. And the first few times she mentioned it, I just didn't really think about it. And then the more I was exploring, what will I do in that space that is now going to be empty while they're at school and their needs for me are different? And I started looking into it. And Local Moms Network was established almost 4 years ago. And it was just a mom in Greenwich who moved out to Greenwich, Connecticut and thought, why do I have to go to 5 to 10 websites to find something to do with my kids for this week? And that's how the idea was born. And we're now in close to 100 neighborhoods, a lot of suburbs, just like Hinsdale. And I was so thankful because you do have to go through somewhat of an interview process with them to be welcomed into the network. And although we do have an extensive network, everything on our sites is hyper localized. So I am part of a larger group, But truly what happens on Hinsdale Area Moms is all me and all about Hinsdale and how we can best serve the moms and dads and caregivers looking to occupy our little kids.
Mm, yeah. Going back, it sounds like the perfect job for you, actually, because I was thinking you have 4 kids who demand your time, and to then
Yes.
actually have a manager, like if you were to go back into her place, demand your time, like, I mean, let alone, your husband needs you too. Like that's a lot of
Yes.
demands on your time. So this sounds like a perfect fit.
It really truly is. And I just, so much of it is sharing the things that I love doing with my kids, the hacks that make being a mom easier in some stretch, some imagination. And I love it here. So sharing that, and just through the course of doing this, all the businesses that I didn't even know about, all the activities, all people I'm getting to meet through this. It's truly, we live in such a special community. And to be able to create a sub community of moms within that has just been such a wonderful experience. And yes, it fits in with the other areas of my life that require my attention as well.
Yeah. I before we started recording this episode, I was sharing, like, and even in the intro, I talk about, businesses exist because they solve problems for people, right? Or they see a need that needs to be met. So what does the Hinsdale Area Network for moms here, like, what problem are you helping moms and caregivers and dads solve with your business?
So our motto is giving moms the gift of time.
Yes.
When you get to our website, you automatically see our big events calendar. It's your one-stop shop for events going on, and not just Hinsdale. I try to cover an area that seems reasonable. Where would I drive for a story time? Where would I realistically go for a play place? So you get this list of events, which in COVID times, a lot more are virtual. It's slimmed down more than it used to be, but we're building it back up and it's going to be great. So right there, you don't have to go to the library website and the museum website and this website to know if they have an event going on for the day, for the week. What can we do this weekend? I put that all right there for you. Another feature on this site that I think is incredibly helpful is our community resources tabs. These are resources that are not just my opinion, these are mom vetted. What pediatricians are people saying we can't live without? What play places are the best? What parks are the best? Which soccer programs do we like the best? So these are truly a curated listing. So instead of having to look, I just moved here, or now I have a 4-year-old and she wants to go to dance, instead of just Googling where to go to dance, we've slimmed that down and it's all in one spot, all right there. We have a series of blog posts that celebrate our moms, our Meet a Mom features, where we highlight local moms and all the amazing things they're doing and what they love about the community, as well as just general information blog posts about some of our local businesses, about which sledding hills are worth out when it snows, our favorite pool essentials for when that time rolls around again. So just truly being a resource and a one-spot resource so that moms we don't have a lot of time. Yeah. Nobody does, but moms especially, and especially right now, we don't have a lot of time to be scouring the internet to find out where's the best fitness class right now. We're putting it's all there. It's all on the website and it's mom approved.
Wow. Yeah. That is a gift, giving time back to moms. And also, like, sanity. I think there's a bit of sanity in there because, there's nothing worse than like trying to do all this research yourself and not really coming up with any really helpful conclusions. So that is a tremendous gift. I'm curious, what have you learned about yourself as you've started this business and are growing this business? What has this taught you about yourself that might have surprised you?
That's such a great question. I think one of the things I've realized is I'm a mom of 4. I had 4 kids in 4 years. you sort of think like, I know, like, I got this, like, I know what I'm doing. Oh, I've already been there, done that. I know what's best. But as I'm curating these resources, I'm learning, oh, I don't know about everything. And what I'm learning even more is how much the game has already changed. My
Mm,
youngest is only 5, and I feel like so many things are changing. So, as much as I am a mom resource, I certainly do not know it all. And I've just learned a lot about being a mom in so many different scenarios. And
mm,
when I highlight these other local moms and seeing the things that they're involved in, I'm learning just so much of maybe I'm just only tapping my potential here. So many women are accomplishing so many great things that it's truly motivating and encouraging me to just keep pressing forward, keep, hoping for more. Sometimes as a mom, it is hard
mm,
because so much changes when you become a mom, arguably
mm.
everything. And
Right.
there's a lot of parts of me that I've had to push aside. And I'm perfectly okay with that. They are worth every bit of that. But through doing this site, I'm revisiting parts of me that were there before them. And it's really fun to kind of reinvigorate some of those things. And when I get to have conversations with people like you, with your wife, with other business people in the community, it is so fun to talk about other things that aren't just about who I am as a mom or that kind of a thing. So I think just that overall learning that, like, hey, you're still there. You
Yeah.
can grow, you can still like reinvent yourself and do things outside of your top priority.
Mm. That would be a thank you for sharing that. Yeah, it's a fascinating thing to explore because Hinsdale is just filled with so many successful people, but yet I would go to say 100% of all of us struggle. Like, we got young kids and our businesses, they are like children to us, but the temptation is to focus more on that business and to neglect kids or their needs. And it's just like, that is the constant struggle between my wife and I. Are like, we have to, it's actually Susan telling me to slow down, Brent. Like, stop sharing all these ideas with me. You're over what we have our own kids we need to think about, and like nurture and to develop. Like, we only have
Yes.
a few years with them before we send them off into the world. And,
It's such a balancing act, and it's truly amazing to take time and watch and listen and see how other people are balancing it and what you can learn from how it's working for them.
mhm.
And it's just kind of a refreshing, like, it's a commonality. So we're all different and we're all exploring different things, but at the end of the day, I look at it as parents, like, we're all the same. We all want what's best for our children. We all want what's best for all the children, especially, in our communities and stuff. So this coming together for this common goal of just supporting one another, I love that feeling. And I definitely feel that way here. And when you explore kind of what other people are doing and how they're doing it, I really do think it unifies us with that common theme.
Mm, yeah, that's a good word. That's right. If there was one thing, so let's say someone who's listening to this podcast right now and they're looking to start a business themselves, a young entrepreneur, or even, yeah, just someone who's starting a business. What advice would you give them uh, as it relates to the experience you've had in starting the Hinsdale area Moms Network and being a mom and those types of things? What would you say to them?
You have to go for it. And by go for it, you have to put every reason why it won't work aside. You do. I mean, because every single one of us with any type of business, we could list a million reasons why it won't work, especially if you're a mom or a caregiver or a parent. The excuses could be endless. Make the decision. I'm going to do this. And once you make that decision, hold on to that and go for it. But alongside of that, be willing to give yourself a lot of grace.
Mm.
There are weeks where I don't get the blog post up that I wanted to get up, or the calendar isn't as up to date as I want it to be. Or I also run our Instagram, and there are times where it's like, oh, I know the algorithm's going to be off if I, those are all excuses. I'm here, I'm going for it, I'm showing up every day, doing the best I can, but also understanding that this is my business and I love it. I love it so much. But these are my children. This is my husband. This is my house. Things are going to happen. And just, I'm still going for it. It's not going to stop me, but I just have to forgive myself and keep pushing forward.
Yeah, that's a good word. It's a good word. Yes. Well, where can people find more about you and the Hinsdale Area Moms Network?
Absolutely. So at any time, you can head over to our website, www.thehinsdaleareamoms.com, or follow me on Instagram at the Hinsdale Area Moms. And I try to share a mix of what's going on in the community, some real mom life stuff, and just also, sign up reminders and all sorts of good stuff like that. So been very, very fortunate that we've had such a good following of moms already coming together on the site. And I love when a mom sends me a message like this helped, or when a mom sends me a tip or an idea. I loved it. This is truly by moms for moms. It's truly a collaboratory effort. And I'm just happy to be bringing it all together and putting it out there. But those are probably the two best places to keep up with the Hinsdale Area Moms.
Great. You should definitely, check out the website and follow Margot on Instagram, because you are very active on Instagram. So kudos to that, because it takes a lot to stay active on it. And you put a lot of great content out, and you do support a lot of the businesses and moms out there. So thank you for your work in the community and helping give moms and dads and caregivers the gift of time. And thank you for joining me on the podcast today.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Meeting business owners like you and like Susan, it truly is one of the very best parts of this whole job that I'm doing. And I'm just thankful for this community and glad that we're all in this together.
Yeah. Well, thank you. All right, folks. Thanks for listening. Yeah. Thanks for listening. And if you found the conversation useful, subscribe to the podcast, and please join me again for the next time on the Hinsdale Local Podcast.